I am most excited about my new role as Global Managing Partner of Harney's to have the opportunity to lead a genuinely wonderful group of people, to have the opportunity to drive forward a strategy that best responds to the needs of our clients and best responds to the needs of our people. We are a genuinely diverse firm. We have such an incredible geographical spread, and from that, organically, you have a diverse group of people. That presents so many opportunities to think in a way that is truly unique, to think in a way that is truly diverse, and to avoid having an echo chamber. And I think that an echo chamber is one of the greatest issues for a business, whereby you have a group of people simply agreeing with the principal or agreeing with the senior management. It has to be more than that, and you can only do that by listening to your people. I think the greatest challenges for our business right now is how we re-enter a world post-COVID. I think that for our business, there are challenges for people as they recalibrate back from working from home back into a much more flexible working environment. I think that's a challenge for both employer and employee, and it's something that you have to work together on. You have to listen to what your people have to say, and you have to respond to that and get to a place that really works for both the people and the firm. The reality is that when we switched to a world whereby we were all working remotely, we drew on the social capital that we had built up over the years of everybody working in an office together. You know people, you chat to them at the water cooler, you're in meetings with them, and you build up a relationship that you simply cannot do in a virtual world. And you draw on that experience and you get through working in a completely remote environment. And I think that having to do that over a 2-3 year period exhausts those reserves. So we just need to build them back up again. And we're doing everything that we can via listening, and trying to reach a solution that works for everybody. I think the key elements that make a firm thrive are clearly its people. It's only as good as the people that you have in the business. There has to be a clear understanding of what everybody's purpose is in the business. Every morning when you log on, regardless of what your role is in the business, you need to know why you're doing that. You need to know what is your role during that day. And I think that's even more of a challenge for a business like Harney's, which is a truly global business. We have offices on both ends of the time zones, and we have to make sure that everybody understands where they are, what role they're playing in that business, because we're all cogs in a very, very big wheel. And if you don't understand your purpose, your job will be too challenging, and then you simply won't enjoy it. And that is what we're trying to achieve, that everybody understands what their role is in the business. So I think for a leader, there are a number of key characteristics. First, I think you need to lead with conviction. I think people need to understand what you are trying to achieve. I think you need to lead with clarity. People need to understand what is actually being asked of them. And I think you need to lead with courage, because often it is the decisions that the leader or the leadership teams make that many people may say, I don't think that's the right decision. But instinctively, a good leader will know that that is the right decision, and they will have the courage to continue with that. But I think overarching all three of those aspects, you have to lead with compassion. And I think compassion right now is even more important than it has ever been. You can see that people are still post-pandemic struggling. They're struggling in quiet ways, they're struggling in more pronounced ways. And you have to appreciate that and you have to look at everything through a compassionate lens, because right now, all of those meaningful exchanges that you are having are building back up trust between employees, between employer, and that's the only way that we can drive forward as a business. And it's the only way that people will follow you as a leader. The most valuable piece of advice that I have received is to listen more than I talk. And I think that is the only way as a leader that you can actually understand what the genuine issues are before you, and listen properly, actively listen. Don't feign it. Don't give the impression that you're going to do something with that information. Listen properly, and always go back to people if you have said that you're going to do something. Certainly in my career, the most frustrating thing that I ever would deal with was I would speak to somebody, they would say, "I have got this, William. I will sort this out and I will come back to you." And they never did. And that always stayed with me. And I've really learned from that I never commit to doing anything and not going back on it. If I wasn't the global managing partner of Harney's, I suspect there's a number of things that I would be doing. My two parents are probably the most inspirational people in my life. My father was a lawyer. He worked in a law firm in Belfast in Northern Ireland. I ended up following his career path and doing law. However, I would very happily have followed my mother's career. My mother worked in fashion, and unfortunately she promoted in us a love for clothes from a very young age, and that has followed me throughout my life. And my younger brother is actually a fashion designer. I don't have the skills or the talents that guy has, Nigel, but certainly owning a clothes shop like my mum, I think that's what I would ultimately have ended up doing.